Alexandra's right. What's a sick man doing on the staircase anyway? Well, I smile as I ask such a question. That's just my good digestion. See you tomorrow, Regina.
Good evening and welcome. So glad that you could join us for the UM Opera Theater's production of Seize the Moment. Of course, dramas are full of dramatic moments, crucial decisions, new opportunities. So we'll show you a few of those this evening. We're going to begin with a really silly example. This is from The Gondoliers by Gilbert and Sullivan. And strangely enough, with that title, our two heroes are gondoliers. Marco and Giuseppe, fine strapping fellows, have just married their sweethearts, Tessa and Janetta. The vows have barely been spoken when they are approached by a mysterious person named Don Alhambra. He is the Grand Inquisitor of a place called Berreteria, and he has big news for these two brothers. He says, one of you is actually the gondolier's son, but the other of you was adopted when you were an infant, and you are no less than the son and heir to the throne of Berreteria. So this is very exciting. The only problem is nobody around knows which of the two is the gondolier's son and which is the prince. So the decision is they will rush to Berreteria and assume the reins of government immediately. They will reign jointly until their old nanny can be found who knows the secret of which is which. And so all is well. The girls are very excited too, that the thought that one of them gets to be a queen, until Don Alhambra breaks the news that the ladies are cordially not invited. It seems there's a problem with a marriage that happened in infancy, but they don't know that yet. So in the meantime, the poor girls are upset and they are admonishing their sweethearts to make sure that they're not going to have too much fun without them.
course not. Well, how could we be? We could be comfortable, I suppose, living in a palace with lots of servants, amusing company, and the best food you could possibly imagine. But there's only one recipe for true happiness. Take a pair of sparkling eyes, hidden ever and anon in a merciful eclipse. Do not heed a mild surprise, having passed the Rubicon. Take a pair of rosy lips. Take a figure trimly bland, such as admiration weds. Be particular in this. Take a tender little hand, fringed with dainty fingerets. Press it, in parentheses. Take all these, you lucky man. Take and keep them if you can. If you can, take all these, you lucky man. Take and keep them if you can. If you can. Take a pretty little card, quite a miniature affair, hung about with trellis vine. Furnish it upon the spot with the treasures rich and rare I've endeavored to define. Live to love and love to live. You will ripen at your ease, growing on the sunny side. Fate has nothing more to give. You're a dainty man to please. If you're not satisfied, take my counsel, happy man. Take and keep it if you can. If you can, take my counsel, happy man. Act upon it if you can. If you can. Take my counsel, happy man. Act upon it if you can. If you can. If you can. Act upon it if you can. Happy man, if you can.
Don't be sad. It won't be long before we're reunited, and one of us will be king.
And one of us will be queen.
Viva, his argument is strong. Viva, will not be brought long. Viva, it will be settled soon. Viva, they come to honeymoon. Viva, viva, viva. Oh,
at that, with a haughty stare and her nose in the air like a well-born aristocrat. At elegant high society talk, she'll bear away the band with her howdy-do and her how are you, and I trust I see you well.
Oh, 'tis a glorious thing I bring to be a regular royal queen. Oh, half and half affair, you know half and half affair. Oh, right down, regular royal queen. And noble lords will scrape and bow and double themselves in two, and open their eyes in vain surprise at whatever she likes to do. And everybody will roundly vouch she's fair as flowers in May, and say how clever at whatsoever she condescends to say. Oh, 'tis a glorious thing I mean to be a regular royal queen. No half and half affair, I mean no half and half affair. Oh, right down regular royal queen. Oh, 'tis a glorious thing I mean to be a regular royal queen. Right down regular royal queen.
Our next selection is from Regina by Mark Blitzstein. This opera is based on a Lillian Hellman play called The Little Foxes. If you're a Betty Davis fan, maybe you remember that movie. It is a family in the South in the 1900s, and let us meet some of them. The central family is the Hubbards. So we have Regina Hubbard, and she is married to Horace, a businessman who's got a little bit of heart trouble. They have a daughter, Alexandra, who's very charming and sweet, and sometimes she is called Zan. Regina's oldest brother is Ben. He is the chief businessman of the family, very clever, and keeps himself sort of footloose and fancy-free, no wives and children there. Younger brother Oscar tends to do all of the lesser tasks. He's not quite the cool head for business that big brother is. He is married to Bertie, and their son is Leo. Thank you. Now, what we're going to see this family go through, it mostly involves a big business deal. These are high-powered businessmen, maybe even ruthless businessmen trying to get a deal done. You have 3 sections that we're going to show you. The first doesn't have music, it's actually a cut from the play. And we'll hear the family discussing this big business deal. The boys have a deal in mind. They want Regina's husband Horace in, but he's not there. The second section, Horace has come home. And Regina wants to throw a big party, get the papers all signed, sealed, and delivered. But Horace is feeling poorly, and he's also a little unenthusiastic about the deal. The third section of our piece will tell you how the business deal winds up, who are the winners, who are the losers. The first person you'll hear in that third segment is Bertie. She's talking about her childhood home, the plantation lionette, and how it seems like the Hubbards just had Oscar marry her so that the family could get control of that wonderful land. She's feeling a little disillusioned there. And as I said, then we proceed from there to the end of the business deal. So let's get right on and meet these wheelers and dealers. This is Regina by Mark Blitzstein.
Well, Regina, it's like this.
For 49%, Marshall will put up $400,000. For 51%, a controlling interest, mind you, we will put up $225,000, besides offering certain benefits that our local position allows us to manage. $225,000 is a lot of money.
I know the terms, and I know it's a lot of money.
It is. We are ready with our 2/3 of the money. Your third, Horace's, doesn't seem to be ready. Ben has written, I have written, you have written. He answers, but he never seems to mention this business. Yet we've explained it to him in great detail and told him the urgency. Ben has been very patient with you, Regina. Naturally, you are our sister. We want you to be involved in anything we do.
And in addition to your concern for me, you also don't want control to go outside the family. Is that right, Ben?
We'd have no trouble raising a third share.
Oh, I'm sure you could find a third share. But that would give you a strange partner. And sometimes strange partners want a great deal. But perhaps it'd be wise for you to find him.
Now, Regina, nobody says we want to do that. You want to come in, and we would like to have you in.
Yes, I certainly would.
But we haven't heard from Horace yet.
I've given you my word that Horace will put up the money.
I took your word, but I need more than your word now, Regina. The contract will be signed next week, and Marshall will want to see our money soon after. Regina, Horace has been in Baltimore for 5 months.
It's beginning to look as if he doesn't want to come home.
Well, of course he wants to come home. You can't walk around with heart trouble whenever you choose, and you know what the doctors are like once they get their hands on a case like this.
They can't very well keep him from answering letters, can they? They couldn't keep him from arranging for the money if he wanted to.
Has it occurred to you that Horace is also a good businessman? Maybe he's keeping silent because he doesn't think he's getting enough for his money.
Nonsense. He knows a good deal when he hears it.
That isn't what Regina means. May I interpret you, Regina? Regina is saying that Horace wants more than a third of our share. Am I right, Regina?
He's only putting up a third of the money. You put up a third, you get a third. What else would he expect?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know these things. It seems that if you put up a third, you should only get a third. But after all, there is no law about it, is there? Perhaps if you knew that your money was very badly needed, you might just say, I want more. I want a larger share. You boys have done that. I've heard you say so.
So you believe he's deliberately held out for a larger share? Well, I don't believe it. But I do believe that's what you want. Am I right, Regina?
Oh, I shouldn't like to be too definite. But I could say that I wouldn't want to persuade Horace unless he did get a larger share. I must look after his interests.
And where would this larger share come from?
Oh, I don't know. That's none of my business. Perhaps it could come off your share, Oscar.
What kind of talk is this? I don't believe you can get Horace to come home, much less get money from him, or talk quite so big about what you want.
Oh, I can get him home.
Then why haven't you?
How can you get him home?
I'll send Alexandra to Baltimore. She'll tell him that she wants him to come home.
Well, of course she wants him to come home. But he's sick, and maybe he's happy where he is.
I admire you, Regina, and I agree. That's behind us now.
But before she brings him home, I want to know what he's going to get.
What do you want?
Twice what you offered.
Well, you won't get it.
I think you've gone crazy.
I don't want to fight.
I don't either. You won't get it. There isn't any chance of that. You're holding this up, Regina. Not pretty. But we need you. And I don't want to fight. So here's what I'll do. I'll give Horace 40% instead of 33 1/3, provided he is home and his money is up within 2 weeks. How's that?
All right.
I've asked before. Where is this larger share coming from, Ben?
From you, from your share.
From me, is it? That's just fine and dandy. That's my reward. For 35 years, I've worked my hands to the bone for you. For 35 years, I've done everything you didn't want to do. And this is how you repay me. By
My,
asking me.
my. I'm being attacked tonight on all sides. First by my sister, then by my brother. And I ain't a man who likes being attacked. You ought to take these things better, Oscar. I've made you money in the past. I'm going to make you more money now. You'll be a very rich man. What's the difference to any of us? A little more goes here, a little less that goes there. It's all in the family, and it will stay in the family. I'll never marry, so my money will go to Alexandra and Leo. They may even marry someday.
Marry? Zan and Leo?
That'd make a big difference in my feelings if they married.
Yes, that's what I mean. Of course it would.
Is that what you mean, Regina?
Oh, it's too far away. We'll talk about it in a few years.
I want to talk about it now.
Naturally.
Well, there are some things to consider. After all, they are first cousins.
That isn't unusual. Our grandmother and grandfather were first cousins.
And just look at us. I'm not saying I'm opposed to it, but Leo is a wild boy. There were those times when he took a little money from the bank.
That's all past history, Regina. All young men go
I
through-
know, all young men are wild. I'm only mentioning it to say that there are considerations.
All right, so there are. But please assure Oscar that you will think about it very seriously.
All right, I assure Oscar that I will think about it very seriously.
That is not an answer.
My, you are in a bad humor and you will put me in one. Now, I've said all I'm willing to say, and after all, we need Horace's consent as well.
Horace will do as you tell him to do.
Yes, I think he will.
And I have your word that you will do as I ask.
Yes, Oscar, you have my word that I will think about it. And do leave me alone. Good night, Ben. Good night, Bertie.
Now, just a moment, Regina.
Hello, Uncle Ben. Hello, Aunt Bertie.
Ah, Alexandra, you and Leo get back from the station. I'm just leaving. Good night, dear. Bertie.
Zan. Zan,
What is it? What's the matter?
it's about Leo.
He beats the horses. That's why we're late getting back. We had to wait for them to cool down. He beats the horses as if...
He's my son, my own son, but you are more to me than my own child. I love you more than anybody else.
Forget about the horses. I'm sorry I told you.
I'm not worried about the horses. I'm worried about you. You are not going to marry Leo. I'm not going to let them do that to you.
Marry Leo? I'd never do that. I've never even thought of it.
But they have thought of it. Zan, I just couldn't stand to think of such a thing. You and...
But I'm not going to marry, and certainly not Leo.
But don't you understand? They'll make you. They'll make you.
That's foolish, Aunt Bertie. I'm grown now. No one can make me do anything.
I just couldn't stand the thought of...
Bertie. Bertie. Get your hat and coat.
All right. Good night, Aunt Bertie. Good night, Uncle Oscar. Aunt Bertie, what is it? What's the matter?
Oh, nothing's the matter, dear. Nothing's wrong. Go back to bed. Nothing's the matter. I just sprained my ankle.
Please do this for me now. You'll see, everything's going to be settled. Oh, now tell Horace all about it. Only be quick. He's very tired and he must get dressed for the party. Can I give you anything?
Some water, please.
Oh, yes, let me.
It could wait.
What an old faker you are. You know it can't wait. Marshall will be here tonight. and you've been just as anxious for Horace to get here as I've been.
I suppose I have. And why not? Horace has done Hubbard and Sons many a good turn. Why shouldn't I want to help him?
Help him. Help him when you need him, you mean?
You know I went to Marshall Company in Chicago.
Yes, you wrote all this in your letters. Well, it sounds like a good deal for you boys.
For us, too.
For us? You and me? I don't think so. We'll just sit around and watch the boys grow rich. How's everything at the bank, Leo?
Fine, sir, just fine.
How are all the ladies in Mobile?
Whatever made you think I'd let Zad
Are
marry?
you turning this down before you go?
Horace is tired. Later on.
We can't keep putting it off this way tonight. Marshall will be at the party tonight.
Mama!
We have waited long enough. I want to know your reasons now.
I don't know them all myself.
We have waited for you like children. Waited for you to come home.
So that is why you wanted me home. Well, we'll talk about it another
Talk
time.
about it now. Just you and me. You're surely not going to have a party tonight. Please wait upstairs, Alexander. Sit. Horace, I want to talk to you.
Ben, Papa, Ben, come here.
Please leave me alone, Regina. I don't feel well.
Papa, did you
I'll be
leave?
coming up.
Papa, shut up, Leo. But I think I understand. Shut up.
Uncle Ben, please make Mama stop.
Leo,
I won't linger. Mind your business, Alexander.
Papa. But how in the world can Leo? We'll talk about it. Let's go for a walk.
I'll be back very soon.
Little air, Regina.
Horace! Yes, I'll have my party. Yes, I'll have my party. Party? Of course I'll have my party. I've ordered the musicians from Mobile.
Miss Birdie, that elderberry wine is going to give you a headache again.
Headache.
Oh, I don't think it will.
Mama used to say, you can stop hiccoughs by singing slowly. Mama used to say, I can see her laughing, my first birthday.
singing down by the river, and people came and loved to come and we oh, if we could all go back, if we only could, to a lioness, people would be better there, they'd be kind and good at lioness. I like people to be kind, don't you? Of course you do. Like people to be kind. Leo isn't kind, Leo isn't kind. You all do something. Leo isn't kind. I don't like Leo, my very own son, and I don't like him at all. I guess I even like Oscar more. I thought I liked Oscar. I thought he liked me too. I married him. He was so nice and kind then. So kind, yes, I married him. I thought. Everybody knew why he chose me. Everybody knew it was true. Everyone but me. Ben Halbert wanted the curtain on my head. And Oscar got it. For Ben, why would I not see what was plain to see? Everybody knew but me. Stupid, stupid me. Oscar married me so that he could take our lioness. Headache, I've never had a headache in all my life. You all know that. That's just a lie they tell for me. I drink all by myself in my own room. By myself I drink. Look at me, I drink. Then they try to hide it, but it's got a headache, a headache, a headache, a headache again. And now even you won't love me, won't love me, won't love me anymore. And that's good. Don't love me. Don't love me. Because in 20 years you'll be just like me, trailing after them like me, hoping
Addie, take Zan away.
How can I do that?
I'll fix it so they can't stop you. Take her away from here. Pretty soon there'll be nobody but you to help her. You'll go, Addie?
I promise I will.
I'm making a new will. I always wanted to leave you something for yourself.
A legacy for a governess. I'd never get it, Mr. Horace.
I know. In the armoire drawer upstairs, there are $1,700 bills in an envelope with your name. It's for you.
17. That's so kind and good of you, Mr. Horace. I don't know what to say. I promise I'll take real good care of Sandy.
Don't take that box away, Addie. Want it to stay right there, right where Mr. Manny's left it this morning.
Yes, sir.
I agreed you were to stay in your part of the house. Addie, get Cal to help him upstairs.
Do you understand what happened last night, Regina?
I think so.
Come look in the safe deposit box. Go on. I had $88,000 worth of bonds in that box. They are not there now.
What are you talking about?
We have invested our money in Heather Sons and Marshall after all.
When did you change your mind?
I didn't. It was invested for us. Those bonds are like money.
What kind of joke are you playing?
I sent for the box this morning. The bonds were gone. $88,000 worth of bonds gone.
Well, where did they go?
With Mr. Marshall, I should guess. Leo took the bond.
I don't believe it.
This fine gentleman who nearly married your daughter took the key, opened the box, and stole them. Last night during the party, he stole them for Oscar and for Ben, of course, too. That's why Ben was so happy.
Oh, the fools. This'll make a fine story
Wouldn't it?
to hold over their heads.
Regina. I'm not going to hold it over their heads. I'm going to let them keep the bonds as a loan from you.
No, you won't. I'll have something to say about that.
No, you won't, because you can. I shall simply say we lent them the bonds.
You would do that.
In my new will, I'm leaving you just those bonds, and that's all. There's nothing you can do. I'm sick of you. I'm sick of this house. I'm sick of my whole life here. And I am sick of your brothers, their small dirty tricks to make a dime. It's about time they were stopped. Yes, it's about time. For you wreck the town, you and your brothers. You wreck the town and live on it, but not me. I'm dying. It's not my fault I'm dying. But while I live, this is the way it's going to be. As long as I live.
As long as you live. You believed it. I couldn't understand that anybody would be such a soft fool. That was when I began to despise you.
Why didn't you leave me?
I told you I married you for something. This was not what I wanted, but it was something. It was only this. I never thought about it much, but if I had, I'd have known that you would die before I couldn't have known your death was cruel, so early and so bad. For I'm lucky, Horace, I've always been lucky.
The other bottle. Upstairs.
I'll be lucky. Addie, Sam, come up here. He's under attack.
Oh, is it Mr. Horace? Is he okay? Oh,
Papa, hush. Addie, go see to him.
What's happened?
He's had an attack.
How is he? Can we go up?
I don't think he's conscious.
It's that bad? Can he be found quickly? Where's Dr. Sloan? Just once? Can he be found?
I don't think there's much for him to do.
Oh, don't say that. He's been through attacks before. You don't feel well.
No, I don't. Horace told me about the bonds this afternoon.
What do you mean? What bonds?
Horace's bonds, his Union Pacific bonds.
Yes.
Well, what about them?
He said that Leo had stolen the bonds and given them to you.
That's ridiculous. I don't know what you're asking about. I mean, what would I do with the bonds? I mean,
Isn't it enough that he stole them from me? Do I have to listen to this in the bargain?
You are talking to your own brother. I didn't steal anything. I
Will
mean,
you make them stop, please?
We're starting at the wrong end, Regina. What did Horace tell you?
That Leo had stolen the bonds.
I didn't steal it.
And he was going to pretend that I'd given them to you, from me to my brothers, as a loan. There was nothing I could do. So, I'm very badly off, you see.
You shouldn't feel that way. It can all be explained and adjusted. It isn't as bad as all.
So, you admit the bonds were stolen?
I admit no such thing. Maybe Horace made up the story to punish you. Punish you? I think we'll have this out on a more appropriate day. We're going to see if we can get Dr. Morris. We'll be
I think you all better come back and sit down.
We'll be back with Dr. Morris, so don't you worry.
You will come back in this room and sit down. I have something more to say. Come back, Oscar. You too, Leo.
What makes you think you can give us orders?
You are quite safe while Horace lives. But I don't think that Horace will live. And if he doesn't live, I shall want 75%. In exchange for the bonds. And if I don't get it, I'm going to put the three of you
would you put Oscar and Leo in jail?
Oh, do you hear that, Oscar? He's about ready to swear that it was you and Leo who took the bonds. Don't be mad, Oscar. I'll make sure he goes in with you.
Try anything you like, Regina. Horace lent us those bonds, you hear me? Learn to make threats when you can carry them through. We'll be off now. Leo, take the buggy and...
What? Alexandra. I didn't know he was... Who could have known? I didn't know he was that sick.
Well, seems like yesterday when he first came here.
That's true. The whole town loved and respected him.
Did you love him, Uncle Oscar? Did you love him, Uncle Ben? And you, Mama, did you love him? Did you love him too?
Try to control yourself, Alexandra.
I'm trying very hard, I'm trying. What was Mama doing on the staircase? What was Mama doing on the staircase? Mama, what?
Please, try to calm down. Calm down, please, Alexandra.
A man is sick, a man is dying. You were with him in the room. Mama, what was he doing on the staircase?
Please, Alexandra.
Always,
Lie down.
always, I have plenty of time.
Well, Ben, tomorrow,
Not in front of the child, Regina.
I did not ask her to stay.
Tomorrow I shall go straight to court. I shall tell them the whole dirty story. You couldn't find a jury who wouldn't whip for a woman whose brothers cheat and steal from her. And you couldn't find 12 men in this state you haven't stolen from, and who hate you for it. There'll be no more bargaining in this house. I'll take my money and we'll forget the whole thing. That's one way of doing it. The way I prefer. But you know me well enough to know I don't mind taking the other way. Oh, you're getting old, Ben. Your tricks are not so smart anymore. Really, I'm ashamed of you. All right, there's that. I take it we're agreed, one and all, and I get what I want. As long as you boys behave, the conversation is closed forever.
Looks like none of us have known you well enough, Regina.
You gonna let her do this to us?
You have a suggestion?
No, he doesn't. Now, Leo, I seem to have forgotten everything. You can draw up the papers tomorrow. You're a good loser, Ben. I like that.
Well, I ask myself, what good will it do to get mad and tear my hair? You and I ain't sour people like Oscar there. We don't eat bread and stew. We got good digestions too. If I lose my shirt, then I lose my shirt, and I move to a new affair. I was never one to discourage or despair. The century's turning, opening up, so big, so grand, and hundreds of Harvards just like us will own this land. Alexandra's right. What's a sick man doing on the staircase anyway? Well, I smile as I ask such a question. That's just my good digestion. See you tomorrow, Regina.
Yes, you certainly will. You'll be sort of working for me now.
Alexandra, you're turning out to be a right interesting girl.
Well, good night.
What is it you wanted to talk to me about, Alexandra?
It stopped raining.
What?
You saw it one day. You saw it one single day. Oh, we said what we tried to say. And all in one day, so clear all the earth still not and away.
Alexandra, you're not acting like yourself. Very strange. Now, you've had a bad shock today, and I know that. But you knew how sick he was.
I knew. We all knew. I'm going away from you, Mama.
You're upset.
I mean what I say. With all my heart.
We'll talk about this tomorrow. I'm sure the morning will make a difference.
It won't make any difference, Mama. I'm going away from you, Mama. Because I want to. Because I know Papa would want me to.
You know your papa would want you to go away from me.
Yes.
Alexandra. If I say no,
Say it, Mama. Say it. Oh, say it. And see what happens. Away. I'm going away.
well, you do have spirit, after all. Alexandra, I don't want us to be bad friends. Would you like to sleep in my room tonight?
What's the matter, Mama? Are you afraid, Mama?
Welcome back. We will start for you this second half with a scene from Die Zauberflöte, Mozart's The Magic Flute. This is towards the end of the opera. Our hero, Prince Tamino, has been undergoing trials, particularly a vow of silence, and his beloved Pamina was terribly hurt and confused when he wouldn't speak to her, he wouldn't look at her. So she goes off terribly distressed, and as if that weren't bad enough, her mother hands her a dagger and says she must kill mother's enemy, Sarastro. As far as Pamina can figure, Sarastro is a very kind and gentle person, so she's absolutely distressed by this. These three spirits have the job of guiding and looking over the two of them, Tamino and Pamina, and they are going to wake up here and greet the morning, and then Pamina comes in, distracted, distressed. She has her mother's dagger and is about ready to use it on herself. And the spirits stop her, prevent her from hurting herself, and reassure her that Tamino really does love her. And she's a little confused about why he was being silent, and they say, don't worry, we will take you to him, all is well. And then we see two armored men who are guarding the temple that we see here. They come out, they're speaking of trials involving fire and water that only the bravest can undertake. And here comes Prince Tamino. He's looking at the entrance and he says to them, I'll undertake anything you give me. Give me a chance to prove myself. And he hears Pamina's voice. The armored men explain that he's now allowed to speak to her, and Pamina comes running in, and she says she wants to undergo the trials with him. It's much better for, in Mozart's day, a man to have the support of a noble and wonderful woman. That's still true, I guess, and vice versa. But they decide that they're able to undertake it together, and off they go to their new adventures.
recht kein Tod, als man zu handeln, ich wage du, jetzt fortzuwandeln, ich stelle Schreckens Pforten auf, ich wage von dem Kinderlauf. Was hör ich an meiner Stimme?
Ja, ja, das ist Familiens Stimme. Wollt ihr, nun kann sie mit mir gehen und redet ein Schicksal mehr. Wenn auch der Tod entschieden wär, wenn auch der Tod entschieden wär,
Ist mir erlaubt, ja, ich zu sprechen,
dir ist erlaubt, mit dir zu sprechen.
welch Glück fällt mir es
Euch wie
froh an
tonight is a selection from the opera Little Women by Marco. And as you might expect, it's an adaptation of the wonderful Louisa May Alcott story. Don't know if you're like me, read it tons of times as a child. If you did, you'll remember the four sisters. Meg, the oldest. Jo is the tomboy who likes writing and has some ambitions that way. Sweet, gentle Beth, and Amy, the little princess, the diva of the bunch. In the opera, Marco makes the focus very much Jo's point of view and how she feels about life moving on and things changing. People are always telling her in the opera, things change, Jo. And she resists and resists. She doesn't want her older sister Meg, her confidant, her rock, doesn't want her to grow up and get married. Her neighbor, Laurie, who's always been a good buddy of hers, suddenly falls in love with her and things get all uncomfortable. Sweet Beth gets very, very ill and they lose her. And little Amy grows up to be this very elegant young lady who realizes that Laurie is actually a better match for her. And Jo goes off to the city and tries her writing. She actually meets Professor Baer, this nice German fellow. They take to one another very well. She likes his ideas of independence and freedom for women. But she has to rush home as Beth's illness progresses to say goodbye to her. So this moment is at the end of the show. She's up in the attic, which has always been her refuge, thinking over, looking at their old mementos, remembering them coming up to play games and have their little clubs and things that they did when they were girls. And she decides that she didn't need to be so afraid of change, that she still has the memory of them to be her perfect little moment. And then she's surprised. Professor Baer comes in. He knows what she's been going through, and he's come by to see if he can be of any comfort. And they have a lovely moment to finish the opera, and Jo is able to look forward to what the future might hold for her.
where we are still for a moment we were four sisters, one heart.
Who was that frightened child trying to postpone what had to be, clinging to what was? Unenlightened child, shouldn't she have known what had to be? Well, now she does. Now she does. Meg, you found your knight. I wish the world to him and to his wife. Effie, you were right. You will stand by me every moment of my life. Amy, we cease our fighting. At last you have your Lorry for your own. And me, well, I'm still writing, and still alone, still I remember us
Teddy, naughty,
shouting,
still
happy we will be
enchanting family, we'll never be again. One soul, one soul, one
How grateful I
Is now the good moment?